All right. Hi, everybody. Going live really quickly. It's been a big day today. It's been kind of a little bit of all over the place day today in multiple different facets. So I want to come real quickly and talk to you guys so that you can share this in case you're wondering what's going on, what's the status of the bill, what comes next, what does the bill include at this point. So today at just a little bit after lunch, the Texas Senate brought up HB 3703, which is Stephanie Click's bill in the House, and Senator Donna Campbell has sponsored it in the Senate, and they had debate. No amendments were offered, but there was some substantive debate, particularly from Senator Menendez, who wanted to discuss why isn't there a research component, why are certain conditions included and others aren't. He was very thoughtful. As you guys know, Senator Menendez has been a champion for patient access because his wife could benefit from it, and he has some personal story there. And then also Senator Lucio, the second, who is the father of Representative Lucio III, he brought up a lot of conversations surrounding PTSD, asking why PTSD was not included. So they had the conversation on the floor. I will be honest with you, there was some reefer madness up in there, for sure. Senator Birdwell made some very interesting remarks. We are going to be putting the hearing up on our YouTube and probably post it here to Facebook too. As soon as we do, we'll let you guys know, but that way you can listen to the whole thing. It wasn't super long. I want to say they discussed it for maybe half an hour. But Senator Birdwell definitely is concerned that low THC cannabis or CBD oil will be the slippery slope to legalization and another opioid type epidemic, which that's not how it works. So there was a study that actually came out talking about how CBD oil can actually help people get off of opioids. So that was a little disheartening, but after the conversation and the questions were asked, they took a vote and it passed unanimously. So the Texas Senate just unanimously passed an expansion of the Texas Compassionate Use Program. So what comes next? The way that it works is, since it's a House bill and it went over to the Senate and it was amended in the Senate, it will now come from the Senate back to the House, and the original author, Representative Stephanie Click, can choose to accept the amendments and allow the bill to proceed forward to the governor's desk, or she can take it to a conference committee where the differences from the House version would be rectified with the differences from the Senate version, and they would negotiate that. It would be ideal if she would simply just accept the amendments. It is an improvement over the restrictive list that she had. I believe Representative Click's bill originally only had 3 conditions, and the current statute would allow for more conditions than that. So hopefully she'll just accept those, and that way we don't have to spend the time in conference either. As I'm sure you guys know, April 27th is only 5 days away, and they will be working very quickly against deadlines. So once they rectify that in conference committee, then it'll go to the governor's desk. Now, one thing about conference committee is that they cannot add anything new. They can only take the House version and the Senate version and come up with something together. So we will be working within those frameworks. There's not going to be an opportunity to add something like PTSD or chronic pain or, you know, all cancers. So that will be not possible at this point, but we are hoping that, since the way that it came out of the Senate is the most inclusive, that it will be accepted and move through quickly. Now, since the bill was passed with a supermajority in both the House and Senate, that means that as it's written, it would be able to go into effect immediately. So that's very heartening that that would be the case. So let's talk a little bit about the bill as it stands coming out from the Senate. What does it do? So the conditions previously, condition was intractable epilepsy. And so what this limited expansion would do is it would allow for all epilepsy disorders, seizure disorders, multiple sclerosis, spasticity, terminal cancer, and incurable neurological disorders such as Parkinson's, Huntington's disease, and Alzheimer's. It would also include autism and ALS. So incurable neurological disorders, there are some, that is what is in the bill, and Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Huntington's was me just listing some examples of that. So there will be other conditions that are considered incurable neurological disorders, but just FYI on that. However, it does maintain the 0.5% THC ratio or restriction that they have. That's concerning because 0.5 THC will help some people, but it will definitely not help everyone. There's also a hemp bill that is moving through unanimously through both chambers and is heading to the governor's desk that would allow for 0.3% THC. Now, there are some discussions on hemp-based CBD and how it could be different from a low THC full spectrum cannabis sativa based CBD, and I'm not here to have that debate, but the fact of the matter is that there will be available over-the-counter 0.3%, and this allows for 0.5%. So expect us to do some sort of evaluation on the difference between hemp and cannabis sativas, CBD profiles whenever you're getting oils or tinctures, but that is not a conversation for today. So also for the physicians, it would remove the requirement for a second physician. Originally, the way the bill was written, or the way the statute is now, you have a prescription from your neurologist and then it has to be seconded. This would allow for the specialist to do that. Now, that is one of the other things. It requires that a physician be a board specialist in the medical specialty that's relevant to the treatment of that patient's particular disorder. So you do have to have a specialist, but only one of them will have to prescribe it to you. It does attempt to redefine prescription as an entry in the compassionate use registry. So they are trying to get around that problematic prescription language, but they did not change it to recommend in the current statute. So that is the real quick overview of what does the bill actually do. I'll keep you guys updated. If it ends up going to conference, let you guys know that. Hopefully it'll just be accepted as is. And then once we know more about it going to the governor's desk, we'll let you know that as well. As I mentioned, it passed by a supermajority in both chambers. So I think it's highly likely that there will be a signing of this bill. In fact, if you guys remember in 2015, at that point in time, the governor actually held a signing ceremony. And I wouldn't be surprised if perhaps he does something like that again. And wouldn't it be great if he did it for hemp also? So lots of things going on. Appreciate everyone who has been participating in the process. Very happy for the patients that this program is going to be helping, but definitely thinking today about many of the patients that are left behind currently. I've been getting a lot of phone calls and emails from my friends who are veterans or have cancer or some other conditions that are not included. And it's difficult because I know that this is a quality of life issue and a medical freedom issue for a lot of people. So thank you for your support of Texas NORML and for your participation in the process. As of right now, that's where we stand. And as things are finalized over the last few days that we have here, we'll let you know what's going on. So everybody have a great day. And if you have a chance to thank your senator or your representative for voting yes and supporting medical cannabis, please do. And if you are frustrated and upset with where we are currently, let's take those emotions to the interim and to the elections. That's what we need to do. So I'm going to end this, guys, and thank you very much for everyone being engaged. Take care.